who brought you RuPaul's Drag Race and $1 Million Listing. This is World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Hello and welcome. I'm Fenton Bailey, co-founder of World of Wonder, here with Tom Campbell.
Hello, hello.
Our guiding light.
Thank you so
and
much.
James St. James.
Oh, bah-humbug, all of you!
Well,
Spoiler
let's get
alert,
straight
spoiler
to
alert.
it. We always count down the top 10 things that make us go,
Wow.
But this week, we're spending a little Christmas spirit. We're doing the top 10 things that make us go...
Bah-humbug. It's a Grinchmas list, is what it is.
And it's just to vent a little of the frustration so we can all have love for the...
It's actually the perfect time to do this because today in LA it has been raining. We're all late to the studio.
Yes.
I have had the most unbelievable, stressful drive here of like going on sidewalks, zipping in and out of cars, pushing over old ladies.
My alarm didn't go off. I just happened to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and didn't realize it was much later than I thought it was.
And my garage door got soaked, and so I had to take a lift here, and I took a big SUV just because it was a little reward for me.
But I do want to say, just right off the bat, though, that I really do love the holidays. I mean, we can be Grinchy and we can be bah-humbug and everything like that.
That's who we are.
We are.
In real life.
We can vent our spleens.
Remember, we were grateful at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Now we're bah-humbuggy at Christmas.
Yeah, but I mean,
just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, I love the excess of the season. I love the songs. I love the presents.
I love it. We decided to do a negative show, and you're just positive Peter. You're like, joy to the world.
But I don't want people to think that we really are hateful, horrible people, because we really aren't.
We really
Speak for
are.
yourself.
Okay, number 10, things that make you go, ugh.
Number 10.
Bah-humbug. At number 10, there's one tiny little ritual of Christmas I don't like. Exchanging gifts.
Oh no!
Is that because you're just uber cheap?
But
Or
you're
like-
so
I'm
good
not
at
cheap.
it. And you're good at it. You every time you give me gifts, I'm always very loving it.
I will gift people, and I'll give people year round. If I see something that reminds me of James St. James, I will buy it for you.
You do.
But the idea that in a period of bad weather,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, I feel the same way, quite frankly, about weddings, that like, especially, and this goes to people, like if anyone's in
wedding
need.
gifts or just
Yes,
weddings?
wedding gifts. It's like it used to be when I grew up in my hometown. They would do dollar dances at the reception, so the bride and groom would have some money. You gave them a blender because they didn't have one, and now it's like Cuisinart, blah blah blah. It's like I don't have that, and neither should you. Like you're rich people getting married. Take care of yourselves. But for Christmas, now I have a little nephew, and I love to give him something. But at the same time, Brady, turn off the radio. He has a lot of toys.
Yeah.
People, we are a consumer
What
society
do
with
you give
Amazon.
the kids who have everything?
Well,
because they
everybody
do have
has everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I have everything.
Lego have had to invent more Legos just to sort of so you can give Legos to
Right.
kids. Like Nolan has every
Well,
Lego.
I remember at a certain point, you had to, when Nolan was having his birthday parties, you had to stop bringing presents.
Stop, no gifts, yeah.
He has everything.
Right.
My niece is a spoiled, 19-year-old right now, 19-year-old girl. What do you get a 19-year-old girl in Los
Cash,
Angeles?
probably.
Yeah, she has. I keep saying I'll go to Sephora. What do you want? I have everything.
And don't do gift cards because you know how many gift cards you have that you never use?
I have a stack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give them cash. I also, on the reverse side, I said exchanging gifts. For the most part, you're off the hook. And I love, I love people who are thoughtful, but like no one has to give me anything. I have everything
That's
I
good to
need
know.
Well,
and more. It's true though.
And not only that, but I am so picky. I know what I like, and when I say to my, like my mom will get me a sweater, like she doesn't know my style.
Right.
Like
I need my T-shirts to be tri-blend, polyester
Exactly.
from
I am
American
the only
Apparel.
one who can shop for me, basically.
We're
at
all
this point.
crunchy, man.
My sister has done a brilliant thing. She is a re-gifter. So what she does is she gets a gift. She writes down in a little book who gave it to her, and then at an appropriate time, she gives it to someone else, making sure she doesn't give it back to the person who gave it
The
to
only
her.
flaw with that is the storage.
Well,
has
there was a very famous in our family. There was someone gave someone a jar of spaghetti sauce one year, like friends,
Yeah.
and it was like this weird joke that became like all the friends would re-gift this jar of spaghetti sauce for about 10 years.
I love
it
that.
went around and everyone would get like they'd get the jar and everyone would laugh and laugh and laugh that they got the spaghetti sauce.
That is
that
genius
year.
because we did the same thing. My Aunt Margie, God rest her soul, and my dad and mom, we used to go to Maine for summer vacation, and someone picked up a plastic bear as some junky little plastic bear off the beach, and my father and Aunt Margie passed it back and forth, making bear puns each and every time
for 20 years.
And then it became the gift that we gave it every Christmas. And by the way, there were a finite number of bear puns, but we kept using them. Santa Claus, can you bear it? So the maybe the positive side of this is, so I just say the excess, and listen, if you love giving, I'm not telling you this is my opinion, but I try to give a big chunk of money locally, like to the Midnight Mission for homeless people. I try to give a big chunk of money to the Gay and Lesbian Youth Center, and I've in the past been giving money to Doctors Without Borders. I don't know. There's so much overwhelming need. It's hard to know.
Do you give it in other people's names, or is that a gift?
Should do that. I don't. I just write a check.
Another little pet peeve of mine, which is like it's like so you have Thanksgiving, and then it's Black Friday, and then it's Cyber Monday, and then it's Giving Tuesday,
and it's Small Business Wednesday.
Enough, right? I mean, because it's all basically the same thing.
But we're told, remember after 9/11, the only advice we got from President Bush at the time was go shopping. That somehow that our consumer society keeps everything turning. But by the way, I buy stuff. I buy stuff from Amazon. I buy more black long sleeve T-shirts anyway. Merry Christmas, everybody! Happy shopping.
James, number 9.
Number 9.
If I see that goddamn M&M commercial one more time, and here, when I mentioned this the other day,
I just will say, I thought when you said this, you meant Eminem the rapper, and I was thinking, what commercial?
No,
Eminem,
M&M's,
the candy,
the candy,
the little guys we eat.
There's a commercial, and the people who live in the real world, everybody in our listening audience will know what I'm talking about. You two out of touch elitists have no idea because you've never seen a commercial.
I like to TV on fast forward to the commercial.
Yeah, okay. The two talking M&Ms are sneaking through the house, and they say, "I wonder if he does exist." And Santa falls down the chimney, and they see him, and they say, he does exist. And Santa looks at them and says, they do exist.
And then they all faint. And
then they all, because he's heard of the talking M&Ms and they've heard of Santa. And everybody faints. And it started.
That sounds so sweet. I'd like to hear that every year.
Yeah. It started in 1996. So it's been 22 years. Every single year they bring it out, which is, I'm sure they think that it's classic, it's a tradition, but I think it's just lazy. I think there's this one, which I'm sure you've heard. Hold on.
James is holding up his cell phone. He's holding to the microphone. He's pushing play. Oh. This is a bunch of jumping Hershey Kisses.
Hershey's as bells.
Yeah.
Glockenspiels. What other things called?
I have seen that. That does ring.
Jingle
That does ring a
bells.
bell.
No, that's we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
So you're complaining about the repetition of certain commercials.
Yes, there's that one. There's the Jingle Bells, which started in Hershey's did that in 1996. They've been trotting it out every single year.
96.
There's no. But let me just keep going on here. There's a Corona commercial that I'm sure you remember, where there's a bunch of palm trees at dusk, and all of a sudden one lights up like it's been done at Christmas.
And it says Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Since 1992, they've been doing it. And then there's a Campbell's soup one where a snowman comes inside and melts, and it's a person because he gets some Campbell's soup.
Oh.
No,
I've seen
You're
that.
sick of them. You're sick of them.
Since 1993. These are multi-million-dollar companies with huge $10 million budgets to come up with a commercial, and they can't come up with a new commercial.
Well, then you need John Lewis, because in Britain, John Lewis make the Christmas commercial every year, and they redo it. And this year, I think they've done Elton John, right?
Yeah, they did the Elton John one.
Yeah.
Who's John Lewis?
Department store.
Is that the one last year where the dog jumped on the trampoline?
Could be.
No, they did the Elton John commercial this year.
Yeah, they did the Elton John commercial. It's so beautiful.
yes.
They did
It
that
brings a
Penguin
tear.
commercial. Do you remember the Penguin commercial 2
Yes,
years ago? They always make you cry. John Lewis really knows how to do it right.
So M&M's and
Hershey's and Corona, everybody. Literally, when you have a commercial for 22 years, don't you think? I mean, come on, you're the biggest branded. And yes, it was original at the time, and yes, it was good, and yes, it was fabulous. But come on, I don't need to see it.
Do you think there's some kind of nostalgia built in now for some people?
They think there's nostalgia. They think they're have a holiday tradition. They think it's a Christmas classic. I just think they're being lazy.
And Jane St. James, I defer to you.
We've posted the M&M commercial as well as the Hershey's
God
Kisses commercial.
bless you.
Let's put the Elton John commercial up
And
too.
we'll put the one. Yeah,
It
Elton
kind of
John
reminds me of the White Diamonds commercial, how that one never does.
It never.
Well,
Yeah.
Elizabeth
Thank
Taylor
goodness.
does. But
Yeah, they did
White
take away
Well,
that.
I know,
Diamonds
and
never
she looks the
does.
same she did in
And that was
1985.
30 years. Yeah, too.
Number 8. Things that make me go.
Number 8.
The cult of the ugly Christmas sweater. Now, this is actually something. I happen to be wearing one as a visual aid.
You are its biggest.
And I do every July or so go through a sort of phase just buying Christmassy type things.
In July.
Or whenever, I suppose, all year round. But James, you set me up to talk about this. And let me first say, an ugly Christmas sweater is any sweater with a Christmas theme that is considered in bad taste, tacky, or gaudy.
And, because it used to be that it was a gay thing. 20 years ago, the gays would have ugly sweaters parties, and it was very camp, and everyone thought it was, ho, ha, ha, ha. Look at us, we're wearing ugly
being
sweaters.
ironic, right?
Being ironic. And then it went mainstream, and now every person, Judy and your Aunt
So
Judy.
this is an example of something that was camp and sort of a coded wink, right?
Yes.
That then crossed over and has become, it's not camp anymore, is
No,
it? It's just
and they
gross,
take it, and
right?
it's not even ironic. The straight people who would usually wear an ugly sweater are wearing an ugly sweater and saying I'm wearing an ugly sweater, but they're just identifying what they're doing as opposed to.
It's like the universe is closing in on itself. Can I just say, if we had elf names, I would be tacky, you would be tasteless, and you would be gaudy.
I love
So
that.
they're not bad things.
very good.
It's just when you have no sense of irony, they're a bad
Where
thing.
does this Christmas sweater thing? I mean, Bill Cosby, right, was a modern day pioneer of the ugly sweater,
Sure.
the ugly
Yes.
sweater icon. Colin Firth in Bridget Jones's Diary, right?
Okay.
He wears an ugly sweater, which I was looking on the interwebs trying to find out where it really began, and of course, it's undocumented. There isn't really. Someone needs to write a history of.
I feel like it just came from seeing your teachers and your mom wearing ugly Christmas sweaters.
there was-
my mom used to have one with Frosty the Snowman on it.
But when there was a gay bar scene back in the olden days, there would be theme nights.
Right.
And that's something,
Oh.
or you would have, your friends would throw a party and they would try and come up with the funniest theme and they would say ugly sweaters. And that's where I really think it started with the gays in the 90s.
Okay, because in Vancouver, every year they have an ugly Christmas sweater party. And this year it's the 17th ugly sweater Christmas party on December the 20th. And then if you want to have your own ugly sweater party, there is the Ugly Christmas Sweater Party book, which is the definitive guide to getting your ugly on, which came out in 2000.
Well, that's just people. That's just people cynically capitalizing on a trend that is.
I did see one really, really good ugly sweater, which is rows of St. Nick's sewn together ass to mouth.
Like the centipede?
The human centipede.
That's hot.
That's kind of good. It's a really ugly sweater. I mean, it's truly. Blake, you were telling me about one about what is.
Yeah, my favorite offshoot of the ugly sweater is girls, and actually some guys now, they'll cut a hole around their boob and put antlers on it, and then a red pasty, so it's Rudolph.
Rudolph the
Jesus.
red-nippled reindeer.
Yes,
I've actually seen Shut Up Chanel did it one year. I remember there's a couple people that I've seen doing it.
Jesus would be spinning in his grave.
Free the nipple. Jesus loved nipples. He made them, or his father did.
Okay, so we got to take a quick break.
Jesus made nipples.
His father did. It's the family business.
he was a carpenter.
We have to take a quick break. Blake, you got a question for us?
Yeah, what 3 adjectives describe the Grinch?
Tacky, tasteless, and gaudy. No.
We mean one, right? Mr.
Yeah, we
Grinch
have to think about it
mean.
over the break.
Oh, you're right. Yes. Okay, we're taking a break.
Don't show your work.
You're listening to the Wow Report on Radio Andy SiriusXM. It's a special Christmas edition.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report.
Welcome back to our things that make us go
Bah humbug.
Yes, we're
Little
counting down.
Pet peeves around the holiday, if you will.
Yeah,
Before the break.
it's a big Scroogey James, you've gone
I know.
strangely
Well, I'm
abstract.
trying to remember the song. I'm trying to remember the Grinch song because I'm sure the 3 adjectives are in there.
Well, let's refresh people just tuning in.
Before the break, the question was, Blake.
What 3 adjectives describe the Grinch?
Mana,
You've
mana,
got oyster.
ma.
You've got.
It's a da-da, da-da, ba-ba-da-ba-da. Eely, squealy, gross. I'm not going to know, so you have to tell us.
You've got oysters.
It's stink.
Stink,
Stank.
stank,
Stunk.
stunk, ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum,
Stink, stank, stunk.
ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. What do you got for us at number 7?
Number 7.
Well, you know, Christmas, everyone loves it. I do not like my pet peeve, my bah-humbug is about all the food. And this is a personal cry for help because the older one gets kids, the harder it is. That looks delicious. The harder it is. Easier just to lose weight, and there's just everyone has food and everyone buys food, and then you think, well, I'll just bring it to work, and then it ends up in my stomach. There's food in the kitchen, and it starts before the holidays, during the holidays, and then after the holidays.
Because they're offloading everything that's left.
Yes, and I have no self-discipline, and the kinds of food. When would you ever have eggnog? Are you an eggnog fan, James?
I love eggnog.
It's like slime.
Yeah.
Drinking
It's
slime.
so rich. Do you? There's no eggnog St. Croix water, right? No one likes eggnog that much.
Maybe an eggnog IPA.
There may be. What is eggnog big in the UK?
We have a little eggnog. Yeah.
I think you started it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it's more like, our thing is more like, is it mulled wine? Yes. Hot
It seems a
punch.
little bit. It still seems too sweet.
Spicy. Oh, it's
but
disgusting.
eggnog just feels like it should go away. And then it's a hackneyed joke, but fruit cakes. They're not awful. They're just really.
Do you like Christmas pudding? We have those in England. We have those round Christmas that have been steamed, and it's suet with raisins and
suet is fat.
It's basically
Bird
it's fat and fruit.
that you feed the
boiled together and kept for years.
Haven't had
in
that.
the
Don't
bowl.
want it.
But I do have to say that, like, working at World of Wonder, I've experienced something I didn't know happened. Is that starting like December 1st, everybody you've worked with, everybody you've met during the year, will send cake and cookies and cupcakes and
Candy.
every
All
day
the networks and agents and
everybody.
Yes.
All it is, you get a constant stream, and you have to eat the cupcakes. You have to eat the cake when it comes.
Cupcakes are
to
designed to make us want them.
Exactly.
They're like nipples, sort
And
of.
like then you go to a Christmas party and you just stand. If you don't know anyone, you just stand there at the station and you just shove your mouth so it looks like you're doing something. Oh,
I will say, moving from the 4th floor down to the mezz has done wonders for my weight.
Oh.
Because
You're
I
on the
don't.
mezz?
Yeah. Because I
I
don't.
want you to meet Blake. He was worked here for 10 years.
Nice to meet you. Finally.
What's your name again? So
Do you have any support, any counterpoint to this? All the food, the holidays, yuck.
you're completely right. I mean, it's the most disgusting, awful thing, and it's like sort of mission creep. It is spread. Christmas is spread, so it actually sort of begins around Halloween with the Halloween candy, and then it's Thanksgiving and the sort of sweet potato-y type
and everybody leaves little
things.
Hershey kisses on your desk, and then you think, just one, and then all of a sudden it's like, here we are, we're only 10 minutes in, and I've had 40 of these.
You are eating the Decor.
Chocolate Santas. I'm wondering, again, it's my issue, but like, do I need to get my mouth wired shut? Do I need to start wearing caftans like Alan Carr? Like, how do you make
now
it
let's not
through?
stop bashing. Let's not start
I am
bashing
not bashing.
Captain.
I am
James is a fan
open.
of the moon.
I am open. I'm wondering, how do I do it?
I have a closet full that I can.
Would any of them still fit me? Probably not.
I have some starter kits for you.
Okay, good. Can we have a caftan episode? Maybe, please.
Something I do quite like, I have to say, actually, you just got me thinking about mince pies. Oh, love mince pies. And it's that suety, fruity thing, but it's hot.
Suet. We feed the birds suet.
I know.
We
I
go to
know,
the
mince
butcher and say,
pies.
give us some fat, and we'll put it in a bag for the
Do
birds.
you really go to the butcher and ask for
My
suet
mother,
for the
growing
bird?
up in New Hampshire, where winter is so stark, we would go to Mr. Khalees at the Red and White Market, and she knew Tony, and Tony would give us
And
some
say-
suet that he had trimmed off of the fat.
Oh, this is just.
And then we'd put it sort of in like a onion, like one of those sort of bags that onions come in that have like holes in them. Like sacks. And then we'd hang it on a tree, and then the birds would come and eat the suet to maintain their body weight in order to stay warm in the winter.
The ones
It
that
makes
didn't
me
fly south.
for a good old cannibal story.
Yes. Or mince meat pies.
Mummy would go to the butcher and ask for suet for the bird.
Mr. Khalees,
We
God
put it
rest
in
his
another. It's like that Simpsons episode where we tie an onion to our belt. As was the trend at the time.
Oh, God. You're making
We'd
me
have
choke.
the nickels had bees on them. And we'd say, "Give me two
Well,
bumblebees for $1."
I have to tell you, in our Christmas puddings, my mother would put sixpences, silver sixpences. So eating the Christmas pudding was a hazard because you'd be putting a apple in and bite down on a piece of silver, a silver big coin.
This is
There's a whole joke on
Dickensian.
it.
That is absolutely Dickensian.
Oh, we
And
haven't even
no,
talked about
this did not happen in the 20th
Yuletide
century.
log. Oh my God! Don't get me started.
Well,
All
that
right,
happens
James.
after the food, right?
Okay. Now,
We went there. We went there.
James, number 6.
Number 6.
this is absolute heresy, I know, but I do not ever need to hear Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas one more time.
Play it, Blake. No,
At it.
Let's have a listen.
If I live to be 110, I can do without ever hearing that. It came out in 1994. Okay, it's like, you know, when radio stations play modern Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Right. There's just 10 of them that I've realized that there
10?
are. Well, not even. No.
Okay, Mariah.
Mariah. There's Last Christmas.
By Wham.
No, yeah, which came out in 1984.
My
There's-
favorite.
Yeah, there's Do They Know It's Christmas?
Oh.
Also came out in 1984.
So good. That is a masterpiece.
No,
James and
no.
James.
It is, and I'm gonna get to this. I'm gonna get
Okay.
why it's time to stop.
Okay.
Okay. The waitress is Christmas rapping. Do 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 do. That one, which is nice. So this is Christmas by John and Yoko. War is
Oh.
over.
Nothing wrong with
Love
that.
1971.
that. Oh my
No, it's a
God.
God.
All right.
Bless it. Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Bruce Springsteen, which he recorded,
Yes.
which he came out with in 1975 and released it in 81.
6.
Santa Baby, Madonna.
Or Eartha Kitt. Does it matter?
The Madonna one is the now accepted version,
Okay.
which people play on the radio, 1987.
Oh, I didn't
And
know.
Christmas in Hollis, which is
Wait,
Run
no.
DMC.
Right.
Right, that's 1987.
That's 10.
That's 9.
What
or
about
8.
the Mekilelekitaki, the Hawaiian?
Oh, Malakaliki Laka.
That's Bing Crosby. Malakinaki is a wild
Yeah, okay, I'm not.
flower.
You're off topic here. This
Oh.
is not what I'm doing.
That's
Okay,
weird.
I'm
Okay.
talking about the modern things that have started
sorry.
since. Okay,
Since
so-
after World War II.
Exactly. But basically, you know, you had in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, you had this giant explosion of Christmas music and original Christmas music. And then Mariah came out in 94 with All I Want for Christmas. And it's sort of like, like nobody could top that. And nobody has really tried since then. Although, Ariana Grande came out with
Santa Tell Me.
Santa Tell Me in 2014.
Which is really good.
It is good.
Which
but
feels
it nev-
like it borrows from the same algorithm as Mariah, right? It sort of feels like it has the same
it tried and it
hypnotic
failed.
notes.
Unfortunately,
Or
she
Santa, baby.
confused Santa with a psychiatrist, and she's asking Santa for relationship advice, which is not what Santa is there for, and that's why the song failed, because it doesn't make any damn sense, okay?
Randy and I wrote a Christmas song.
Oh.
As the Pop Tarts. Called Hot Christmas.
Oh, and how did it do?
Classic.
Maybe we'll play a little bit.
Also,
should play that more.
Jessica
Like-
Simpson. Last year, Kelly Clarkson thought she was gonna,
Yes.
and if anyone could do it, you would think Kelly Clarkson
yes.
could do it. But
So what are you
literally,
saying here?
I'm saying that it's time. It's time to come up with some new Christmas music, you guys. The last batch of Christmas classics was in the 80s.
I think Rue has a whole Christmas album, doesn't he?
Yes, we're playing a lot of it in between breaks here.
Yeah.
But I hear, they can't catch on. Maybe we need a TV competition show where we create new Christmas songs.
Like
Give away our
Eurovision.
ideas on that.
That's a good idea.
Like
That's
Eurovision?
very good. Yes. You know, there was that reality series where they were like a search for Santa. They were trying to find the best Santa Claus.
Did they find him?
It wasn't a success, so I don't know.
But it's akin to listening to Perry Como and
Love
Bing
Perry
Crosby
Como.
in the 80s when
I
it was
still listen to
recorded
them.
in the 40s and 50s. Now it's 2014 and we're still listening to the music from the 80s and the 90s, and I just think that we need something new.
I'm a freak. I don't disagree. In 2005, right before I started working here, there was the convergence of my CD collection and the idea that you could get things off of iTunes. You could still upload your CDs into the computer. And you still download. And I went crazy one Christmas. I made like 90 Christmas collections and gave them to all people. And you know what? No one likes your own Christmas collections. No one likes your
I
Christmas
have a
collections.
friend, Brett. I'm sorry, I love you, but
Oh.
every year he sends me like his DJ list of 100 Christmas songs from Doris Day and everything like that. But
Is there a Christmas song that people don't know that well that you like that pops into your mind?
well, I think we talked about it on one of our Christmas shows last year, where I wrote from Ho Ho Ho, the RuPaul, the what is it? The song
Hard
from?
Candy Christmas.
Hard Candy Christmas with Michelle.
Oh,
that
yeah.
really just makes me cry because it was a
Okay.
very special time in my life, and I will
All right.
listen to that. And
Were
I
you in a
love-
log cabin somewhere?
Yes, I was up in Michigan.
Making toys.
Uh-huh.
Working for Santa. So, number 5.
Number 5.
I'm actually going to continue with this theme because for me, the worst holiday song, it is like nails on a chalkboard. It is like one of those sounds I cannot bear to hear. I actually didn't even know what it was called until the other day. Carol of the Bells.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. It is horrendous.
It's kind of like a scary movie.
It is.
It's sort of like the theme to Halloween.
And I would think
Yes.
you would kind of like it because it's kind of like Philip Glass.
Oh.
No, classy
He
over there.
learns.
References.
Anyway.
The
References,
student
Blake.
becomes the master.
Snatch the pebble from my hand, grasshopper.
But what I didn't realize
Is it Camp Blake?
Well, we'll have to refer to Susan Sontag's notes.
Someone's listening and someone's learning, and we helped just one person, and it's Blake.
So I
We've
did
done
a
our
little
job.
Googling, and
Yeah,
Carol
tell
of
me,
the Bells,
when did it
it's
start?
a popular Christmas carol written by Ukrainian composer, I mean Mykola Leontovich, in 1914. I mean,
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells.
but it
All
goes
seem to
back
say.
way back. It goes that's the Christmas iteration of it, but it's actually based on a Ukrainian folk chant, Shredryk. Shredryk.
Yeah, because it has sort of a military-esque feel
It
to it
does,
of
right?
marching or something. Dun 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 dun.
Yes, it's
And
relentless.
it builds in
And-
intensity.
And
Yeah.
you know what's interesting? Because I absolutely love. So this is Christmas. War is over. I love. I mean, every time I hear it, it makes me cry a little bit. And what
Me
I-
too.
Still 45
Still,
years later.
But here's the thing: I didn't realize. I thought, what an amazing composer John Lennon was, and I'm not saying he wasn't, but I thought he wrote the song. It's actually based on an 18th century folk song from the 18th century called Skew Ball, which was about a racehorse, and it had been covered by all different people, and it's the same.
He borrowed the melody and rewrote the
Took
lyrics.
the entire melody.
Well,
lock,
perhaps
stock,
we
and
should
barrel.
write Greensleeves and take from the 14th century or whatever and make a pop song out of
I
it.
don't see why not. I don't see why not. It makes you realize, though, I suppose what I'm saying is these classic songs, we think that that they've been written just the other day or in the last 20, 30 years,
Well-
but in fact they go folk back to pre-internet times,
Something that we
pre-industrial times.
Right.
Yeah, something
that
we learned here on the
archetypal.
WoW Report was that the Jaws theme song was actually Prokiev or whatever.
Oh,
remember?
right.
From,
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
right.
uh-huh.
James, breaking news. The Mariah Carey song is actually written by Pope Benedictine. That's made up. I don't know what that's about. Only thing I'm going to say about Carol of the Bells in its defense, the brilliant people at VH1 Marketing turned it into quite an
Yes.
amazing viral
Oh.
video for All Stars.
Thank you.
RuPaul's
That's-
Drag Race.
I totally forgot that was my payoff.
All
It's
hail
like,
RuPaul. All hail RuPaul.
yes,
It was-
I've hated it, and now it's the most brilliant promo
Yes.
for All Stars Season 4. It is absolutely fantastic. Clever, witty. Okay, let's take a quick break and then carry on with our countdown of things that make us go, ugh.
Humbug, guys.
Blake, you have a question?
I do. What's the best-selling holiday song of all time?
Single. One song.
Single.
Got it.
And what's the best-selling album?
Oh.
Oh, good. I love it. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Wow Report on Radio Andy, Sirius XM.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report.
Welcome back. We're doing a special holiday edition of the Wow Report. We're counting down the top 10 things that make us go bah-humbug. Christmas peeves. So, Blake, what was the question?
What is the best-selling holiday song of all time? Single. And what is the best-selling holiday album
has to
of
be
all
Do
time?
They Know It's Christmas?
Well, I would say that it was going to be White Christmas by Bing Crosby up until maybe Do They Know It's Christmas.
I'm going to say Mariah Carey's song is the number one, what's it called? And I think Bing Crosby's album, White Christmas, is the number one album. What do you got?
Well, you're close. White Christmas is the single.
Okay, but Bing Crosby
number one.
Sort of
It's been
right.
around since the 40s.
And then Elvis's Christmas album is number one.
Blue Christmas
That's the one.
without you.
I was always so touched, though, with White Christmas, the way that little prelude at the beginning, because I never heard it as a kid. They just would play, I'm dreaming of White Christmas. But the whole thing of they're in L.A.
Yes.
and it's sunny and hot and there's palm trees. I love that.
Yes.
Isn't that I think that's inspired the
It was
Pop-Tarts
also-
Hot Christmas, James.
Oh, that's nice. And it was,
I was wondering. I was waiting for the backstory.
and it was also popular during World War II, and a lot of our soldiers
Throughout,
were
yeah.
stationed in the Pacific. So it was really
and again
resonated.
in Vietnam and Korea.
It was for a while the best-selling single of all time,
Yes, it
not
was.
just holiday.
Yeah.
All right, let's carry on with our countdown of the top 10 things that make us go
bah-humbug.
We've reached number 4. Tom.
Number 4.
You know, Christmas is a time to be with people you love. And sometimes that means taking a train or a car or a boat. And I hate Christmas travel.
Who doesn't?
God, I hate travel all the time. I've really gotten to the point where I can't even go to airports anymore.
But maybe I need to be more specific. I hate other people while I'm traveling, and I do it from a self-righteous point of view, which again makes it all my fault. But first of all, on the opposite side of this, I think air travel is a miracle. I do not understand how it works. People have explained it to me. It is a miracle. It's magic. You get into a tube and you wake up, and 5 hours later you woke up in LA and now you're in New York or now you're in Boston. And so when people complain about a 15-minute delay, an hour delay, a 3-hour delay. I'm like, people crossed this country and lost their lives, gave birth in the Rockies, froze, ate each other. Nod to cannibalism. So, just chill out and let the people fly us there.
It's just if you're going 500 miles an hour, a 5-minute delay is epic.
I never thought of it that way. But
If you're on foot,
I
what's
also
5
travel
minutes?
alone. So I travel alone, which is not good. And if I don't put my headphones on, I'm listening. And then everyone talks. People talk. They have conversations
Loudly.
and they say
There are
nothing.
children around.
Yeah, there's
And they scream.
And they scream. I don't hate when kids cry on planes because I think, you know what? Inside, I feel exactly the same way. They just have the freedom to actually I'm not happy. And I'm just like, socialize to be calm. Thank you. No more nuts for me. Thank you very much. But and I have to say, I fly Alaska now, which has taken over the Virgin America planes on the routes I
Yeah.
go. And somehow I keep getting bumped up to their 2 rows of first, which is the least impressive first ever, but it's better than being squashed. What are you going to say?
Oh, because I was going to say, Fenton travels in a very different way than the rest of us do.
I knew it was going to turn
Okay,
nasty. I knew it.
because
Because he flies private.
I'm always in the last row, in the middle chair. I'm like with the one that doesn't go back. Like I'm always next to the bathroom, like that. I
You
mean,
could book a little sooner. Maybe that's on you.
No, for some reason, no.
It's your karma.
It's my karma. It's just what happens to me. So I but the people who get to go and they don't have to stand in lines and they go into special little rooms where they get massages
Right.
before going on, and people come and bring them on their knees and they don't look at them as they walk in.
Stem cell facials.
Yes,
Wash-
vampire facial.
They wash their feet with their hair.
Exactly.
Here's my only tip for us coach flyers.
Yeah.
The only day to fly coach and you should fly this day, is Christmas Day.
Yes, and I think it's a festive time on the plane.
People are so nice. They give you like, can I have some extra headphones? Rest of the year, why didn't you bring your own?
Yep.
At Christmas, oh honey, let me check. They are so happy. It's kind of calm. I fly east, so if I leave like early in the morning, I get to time for dinner, which, by the way, erases. It used to be when you were a little kid, waking up, you couldn't wake up early enough to get your gifts. Now it's like, we're waking up when? And then you're awake, and then you have to give presents, one of my least favorite things to do, and then receive presents. Then you have to eat all the food all day as you're waiting for some roast to be. I love showing up last. I love being the person they look forward to, and I love showing up around 5 for dinner, and no gifts, please, no gifts. and with a happy flight attendants, which never happens except for Christmas Day. No other day of the year.
You know, I have to say,
I don't know why they're happy on Christmas Day to be flying.
Oh,
I mean, why? But anyway, sorry, I cut you off. James.
Probably because they're getting paid double, right?
There you go.
Oh, maybe.
I just think the spirit of Christmas has hit them, much as it is hitting our listeners right now who are listening to this festive talk of Christmas.
I just want to. Yeah, no. I'm putting mine into 2 parts here because I want to build on something there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's number 3, James.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Gift giving in our family has become this ritualized, codified thing that drives me crazy. Because we used to just race downstairs, for 1 year, and open all the presents in 10 minutes, and then it was over.
Yeah.
So my parents instituted this thing where I have to give a gift to Cynthia, and then Cynthia picks a gift for someone else. And that person then has
from the tree.
Yeah, and they can't give it to themselves. They have to give to someone else. And we go, and then it was CJ hasn't gotten a gift in a while, so then I have to pick a gift for CJ, and it goes on, and that way it stretches out till 2, 3, 4 hours later. And it's usually the kids end up having 50 presents. I get 2, and I'm done by.
Plus, it's performative, isn't it? Because you're unwrapping in front of everybody else,
and
who's
then we
not
all have to ooh and on and everything, and we have to talk about it, and then we have to just devote 15 minutes per present to, and it just becomes this slog. I hate it.
Until my nephew Brady, who's 4.5, was born, I was the youngest at our Christmas gatherings for 50 years.
Yes.
And so I would be the one who would sit at the bottom of the tree and hand out gifts. As a young child, I used to do it because I got so many more gifts that I had to break it up so my brother and sister wouldn't catch on. Like, oh, here's one for Dad, Mom, me, David, Amy, me.
Well, I was the youngest until Elizabeth came along, and I
don't know who Elizabeth is, but I don't like her.
God, to this day, I will never forgive you, Elizabeth, for ruining my Christmases.
So the youngest gives out the presents. Is that what happens?
The youngest kids get the most presents. Everything.
Oh, but you give them out, distribute them.
Sometimes,
no. Everybody distributes in our family, but you can't get a present for yourself. You can't pick out a present.
Okay.
Would your mother ever give you suet in an onion bag?
Yes. She'd say, "This is for the birds, Jimmy.
Feed the birds."
Feed the birds."
But what is your other thing?
My other thing is just this ridiculous war on Christmas.
The fake war on Christmas.
The fake war on Christmas that Fox News decided to help politicize Christmas. Fox News years ago decided that Obama, Kenyan Muslim Obama, had made a war on Christmas, and because we weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas anymore, we had to say Happy Holidays. The stores, when you went to a store, they didn't say Merry Christmas anymore. They said Happy Holidays. So it's not to offend non-Christians, which...
It's kind of bullshit.
It's kind of bullshit because people still say Merry Christmas, but the Republicans seized on this and they've turned it into the liberals, the libtards are trying to destroy Christmas for us.
So it's like the war on drugs. It's a fake.
And there are times, there are times to say Happy Holidays because they include New Year's and they include Thanksgiving. There's times to say Merry Christmas. There's times to say Happy Hanukkah. There's times to say fuck off Fox News. It's always appropriate times.
Every year they trot it out, this story.
Doesn't Trump claim victory in the war on Christmas?
When Trump came to office, he said, "Now
people are saying Merry Christmas again." I don't know how I did it. Merry Christmas again.
That was a great. It was Elvis as Trump is what
and there's a little share in there, I'd like to think.
So
don't you remember, Fenton? A couple of years ago, we talked about it here when Starbucks just did the red cups. That was a war on Christmas because they weren't Christmassy enough. And now look at whose trees anyway.
This year there wasn't a Starbucks outcry, holiday cup outcry.
They were very smart this year because they made multiple designs on multiple cups. This is just one.
I did notice that the day after Halloween is when they started playing their Christmas music.
When the cups change, it makes me happy. That's not my bah-humbug. I love my Starbucks cups.
Well, number 2.
Number 2.
Look, I have to say, I love a Christmas tree. I am like almost fetishistic about a Christmas tree. I like a real Christmas tree.
Yes.
And I love to decorate it.
Yes.
But the thing that I hate the most, I hate New Year's Eve, and I hate more than New Year's Eve, taking down the Christmas tree and putting decorations away. I hate it so much. It is just a depression, a deep, dark depression, because the start of the New Year is always a bit awful, really bleak. And taking down the Christmas tree just really does it.
It hurts, yeah.
So this year, Billy has solved the problem by ordering a pre-decorated Christmas tree.
Do you fly with it in first class?
It comes from
Yeah. Do they bring it to you, but they don't look at you as they walk in the door?
And they give you a stem cell facial. Explain. Is it a real tree?
It is a real tree, and it comes decorated. So they just bring the whole thing
And
in.
it's only $42,000. It's just a
Billy
pittance.
didn't mention it.
Yeah, we buy 5 of them.
That's right.
Do you give them your ornaments and they include them?
No, they just bring the ornaments. Look, this has never happened before, and I have ambiguous feelings. I'm ambivalent about it because
isn't part of the joy of Christmas is putting up the tree and the decorating?
Decorations that you've had for years
and you
and
put
years
on your
and
doors
years,
Day Christmas
that are
or the
all
Charlie Brown Christmas album and everybody.
And they're all family heirlooms, and it's like, so it should be, so we won't be doing that.
And
this
things
year.
that no one made in first grade. And
In this, it's just going to be other people's memories or faux memories. Or
It's going to be like the
memories.
tree at the mall.
Yeah, it's just
A
going to
little bit.
arrive.
It's
and-
gonna have like the people in the picture frames, like
Yes. Mommy and Daddy. Now, I have an idea for next Christmas,
Yeah.
if I may. You
Yeah,
may like
yeah,
it and
yeah,
keep
yeah,
it.
okay.
But for half of what you're paying for that tree, I bet you could hire Blake
I
or
was
me
gonna-
or
Yeah.
I was
James
gonna
to
say.
take down your tree.
well, do the kids not? That was my favorite thing. Is like,
Taking
Mom,
down-
can we put it up? Can we put it up?
Yeah.
I mean, I
no.
hated taking it down, but
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Now they're like, Daddy, call. See if the tree is on its way.
We're going to make the Christmas call.
It's at the corner of Highland
Everybody
and
gather
Melrose.
around
Very
the
close.
phone as Daddy puts in his order for the new Christmas tree. We're going with the blue theme this year, Daddy.
we'll have a blue Christmas.
How soon before you order in your children for
in
Christmas?
The garage, in the garage, we have 2 pre-flocked Christmas trees. So maybe if I'm feeling too sad, I will go out to the garage, I'll grab one of the pre-flocked Christmas trees and decorate that on my own.
There are
in
people
the-
who love
in the-
Christmas trees so much they put them in several rooms. So I
Yeah.
challenge you with that.
Well, I hear
I-
that's
you
what
know,
they've done at the White House.
There were
this
many
year.
years during my drug years where I would keep the Christmas tree up. I had a silver tree and it was just up all year long.
I
But
love
did-
a fake silver with like a broomstick
Yeah.
in the middle. I had
What
one.
is the significance?
stolen.
I would keep it up for for a year at a time.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What about the Christmas tree that's upside down? Is that some sort of?
Well, I have noticed this year on Instagram thing is that everybody's putting wigs on top of their trees. Have you noticed that?
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to reveal the number one thing that makes us go
Bah, humbug.
in this very special countdown of Christmas pet peeves.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Wow Report on Radio Andy, SiriusXM.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Welcome back. I'm Fenton. I'm here with Tom and James and Blake, and we're getting towards the end of the year, and we're having a very festive holiday minge.
Let's get in
about
the,
pet peeves.
in the spirit, the Bah Humbug
The
spirit.
Bah Humbug spirit. So we're being 3 Scrooges. What is the number one thing? The number one thing Christmas pet peeve this year.
Number 1.
It's the new tradition.
Yeah.
It's 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And it's Melania Trump's decoration of the White House. This year is
The second year.
the second year that she has turned. You know what? She's good for the internet.
She is
Because so many memes come out of her decorating
Is
taste.
it?
She's a meme one.
Is it?
Oh. Mrs. Trump, you're a meme one.
Is
Oh,
it maybe
that's good.
as a Slovenian she doesn't quite understand the concept of does she have a warped view of what Christmas
Right, it's
is?
a very Soviet idea of Christmas.
It is.
It sort of takes the Christ out of Christmas,
Well,
talking
let's-
about war on Christmas.
Let's describe it a little bit, shall we? There's a hall with these red cone trees, right? Someone
Yes,
said
that
well,
brilliantly look like the car wash brushes that you drive your car through.
I love what one cat said. They said, it's depressing as hell, it's ugly as all fuck, and it looks clumpy and overgrown and fake. Melania Trump designed a hallway that looks like her husband's naked body. That's pretty good.
You know, The Guardian went on and they were asking, what is Melania trying to tell us with her creepy Christmas trees? And they said two things. They said, let's see. Why are they red? Why are there so many of them? How can something made out of berries look so creepy? Possibly, she is trying to separate us from nature with trees the color no tree has ever been, lined up in a harsh firing squad formation. It's very Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Winter is coming.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, let me...
Wait, hold on. Yeah. She always seems so subversive, those skeptical eyes, those strategic eyebrows. I don't think she wishes us ill. If she has a long game, the conjuring of a post-bucolic hellscape is... Wait. I don't think she wishes us ill. If she has a long game, the conjuring of a post-bucolic hellscape is only a waypoint. I don't know what that means.
It's beautiful,
but it's
though.
beautifully written.
Well, she's inspired some beautiful writing, because I have to read you what Beth Elderkin in Gizmodo said. She said, Mrs. B. Best turned the hallways of the presidential residence into a living nightmare straight out of Voldemort's bathroom. We're in the maws of a darkened cavern where thousands of innocent souls have been swallowed whole, their innards slowly dripping down over millions of years to form red, bloody stalagmites.
Yes.
Right? It's pretty good.
Feels like the Mars. It feels like
it's
like
communist.
post-apocalyptic. It feels communist. It feels
and
unnatural.
of course, people are doing the Handmaid's Tale meme.
Yeah, of course.
And there's one with her because she's all in black, walking through them and they have like Darth Vader and people behind her.
Well, Melania's made a statement because I guess she's been feeling the heat. She said, we are in 21st century and everybody has a different taste.
Which is genius because prior to the 21st century, people had the exact same taste.
Well, basically what she's saying is she doesn't care, do you?
Right, exactly.
Well, what did she do last year? Was it just
It was the twigs.
Yeah.
Remember she had those giant, like,
It was very black and white,
That was like
wasn't
The
it?
Shining.
Yeah.
It was like
maze in The
it was
Shining.
like the ground zero of the hydrogen bomb
Well,
today.
when we do talk about the war on Christmas, why don't we ever include Melania's decorations?
I posted that on my
because
Facebook page.
Fox loves her, and they think that she's Marvel, and everything she does is the best.
I said
thing.
exactly that.
And
Now I get the war on Christmas. Thank you, Melania,
Yeah.
for pointing it out.
She is a screaming harpy nightmare, isn't she? She really is. I mean, I think she does mean us all ill. I just does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't think she cares. Like, I just don't think she cares if we.
But even not
This-
caring is an act of hostility.
Well,
Yes,
yeah.
the self-centeredness,
aggression.
especially if you're president and first lady of the United States.
Mhm.
Don't you wish there was somebody that wasn't a con man?
You should be
Yeah,
best.
Be best.
Be best. Well,
Be
okay.
merriest.
Oh, I have a cheery piece of news.
What's that?
Tickets for RuPaul's DragCon LA 2019, May 24th, 25th, 26th. Make the perfect gift or stocking stuffer. Purchase yours at RuPaul'sDragCon.com.
Makes sense.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to the WoW Report on Radio Andy SiriusXM. Listen anytime on the Sirius Radio app or watch anytime on the WoW Report.
Yes, YouTube. Put in WoW Report. Click.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Oh, darling.
Thank you, Blake.
Thanks. Happy New Year's.
Yeah, season's greetings, everyone. See you same time, same place next week.
We'll be
Until
less
then-
cranky next week. Maybe.
I
Maybe.
like being negative. I should do it more often. In the meantime, go out and do something that makes the world go.
Wow. Bye.